Okay, there we go, guys. Looking pretty good. Got Susie Q to be the line master here. Yeah, look at those fries. You got the Polish there.
Yeah, Polish, and it's all
I've never
decked
seen
out.
fries like that. It must be some special
They call them sidewinder fries.
sidewinder. That felt good. Good morning. Good morning. It is Saturday, February 10th, 2024. I am the DJ Wonder Chrissy here, and we're here at Migrant Mayhem at Land Cruiser Midwest. Like, share, and subscribe, folks. We could use a few more subscribers, some loyal listeners. People like Mofo. Yeah, we got a guy that comes in here every once in a while by the name of Mofo. We look forward to hearing from him again, maybe. Okay, so we got a little bit of a update on Chicago, and then we're going to head out to Colorado Springs and see what's going on out there as they start jettisoning a lot of their families out of the hotels that they've been paying for the last 4 or 5 months. So let me get this one ready to go here. Let's see, where is it? And this one's about the cost of the migrants in Chicago, and I talked about this the last couple of shows. I mean, the numbers, it doesn't take much to know that the numbers don't add up. And this video alludes to that fact that it's just a matter of time before Brandon and JB are in a financial crush again, or maybe worse. Who knows? But the train, excuse me, the train is coming down the tracks. The financial train is coming down the tracks for Brandon and JB, and they're seeing it. Although the citizens may not be seeing it, the citizens are revolting against the migrants, each and every day, because we see what's going on in New York City. We see what's going on in Denver, which we'll talk a little more about that. So let's see what they have to say about Chicago right now.
I know just how much Chicago has been spending to support the migrant mission so far. Just over.
There you go, the migrant mission. It's not the migrant crisis, it's the migrant mission.
13,000 asylum seekers are living in city shelters.
The city says they are preparing for a spike, though it's not clear how they pay for it. CBS 2's Sabrina Fonza is live for us.
Yeah, and the buses have kind of stalled since Governor Abbott's closed the Eagle Pass river crossing, where people were just flowing in like water. The buses have kind of stopped a little bit.
In the newsroom, trying to sort it all out. Sabrina?
Joe, if it feels confusing tracking the spending, the amount of money the city has spent, the state has given, how much the federal government has given.
Money, money, money. Money is coming from everywhere for this. I wonder how much of it is being laundered. Just a thought.
Contributed. That's because it is. The city has been trying to save money where it can, but right now they just can't get those numbers to add.
We're currently, actually every day, we're in meetings, on calls with the state and with the county.
In a migrant briefing this week.
To figure out what the long-term plan is to get through the calendar year together.
City leaders were asked once again about their plans to pay for the migrant crisis once the money runs out. New numbers show the city has spent a total of $194.5 million on migrant-related vendors since October of 2022. That doesn't include the cost of city agencies and their work on the migrant mission, like how much it's costing to educate school-aged new arrivals. Of those vendors, though, the Kansas-based company, Favorite Healthcare Staffing, continues to be the highest paid, making $126 million since the mission started. The cost paid mostly by the state, the remainder split between the city and federal government. A few days ago, the city amended their contract with Favorite Staffing for a second time. Now their contract is for approximately $150 million over the course of 1 year. Notable because in the city's budget, $150 million is the same number allocated for the entire fiscal year. The city is hoping the state continues to pay and the federal government will step in. Governor Pritzker has said he plans to put about 2,000 beds somewhere, though it's still not clear where that...
Okay, now here's where the people in the suburbs need to be paying attention, because somewhere in here she mentions that those 2,000 beds can be anywhere in the state. And if you let them, they will.
That will be, or when it'll happen.
Would that be one of the things that we're looking at to help alleviate how much the city is spending?
We're currently in discussions about how they might be able to apply that, whether it is standing up a new shelter inside or outside of Chicago.
There you go, folks. Coming to a town near you if you allow it. And our next video, or one of the other videos today, we'll show where cities in Denver area are trying to make sure it doesn't happen to them.
Or if it's taking over the costs of shelters in Chicago.
Now, the city estimates it's been able to cut food costs down by using new vendors from around $22 a day to about $16 a day per person. Again, this is just a drop in the bucket with no answer about a long-term...
Yeah, it's certainly a drop in a bucket. $22 a day for food. That's filet mignon type of food, man. Jeez.
...solution yet. In the newsroom, Sabrina Franza, CBS 2 News.
Sabrina, thank you.
Drinking.
Okay, so there's that. Let's see if I can find another one for you here where...
Data shines a light on just how much Chicago has been spending to support the migrant...
Yeah, they're spending, that's for sure. Let's see what we got here. I think I saw one yesterday I wanted to share with you. Let's see if I can find it. Maybe not. Maybe not. Where was that? Oh, that was... Here's where it was. Let's see if we can find it quickly. All right, this is it.
Wow. This new Charmin Ultra Soft Smooth Tear is so soft and so smooth.
So this one's about one of the busing companies from Texas is asking, I guess Brandon Johnson's wants to dismiss a lawsuit that was filed by one of the bus companies from Texas because they're saying it's unconstitutional that they're putting all these restraints on the Texas companies, and they've filed a lawsuit not long ago, and I guess it's getting ready to be heard. So let's listen to this video, and here we go. Let me see here. I need to... What's going on? Doesn't want to go back on me here. Let's see. Now, there we go.
Investigate Chicago's migrant crisis and
sorry about that, folks.
Out in federal court.
Tonight, the city of Chicago wants a federal judge to toss out a lawsuit brought by a Texas bus company which sued the city over its new bus ordinance. NBC5 investigates Bennett Haberly has an update to the story he broke last month. Bennett?
Allison, you may recall the city's new bus ordinance was created late last year in an effort to curb so-called rogue buses from dropping off migrants unannounced. Wynn Transportation filed that lawsuit challenging Chicago's ordinance after receiving fines for violating these new rules. Now we've got this legal fight underway in federal court. The number of migrants arriving by bus has slowed down in recent weeks, but not the fight over Chicago's bus ordinance, which requires transportation companies to coordinate drop-offs with the city. In its response this week to a lawsuit brought by Texas bus company Wynn Transportation, the city argues there's nothing to Wynn's claims and that the lawsuit should be dismissed. Wynn, which has been paid by the Texas government to transport migrants to Chicago and other U.S. cities, filed that lawsuit last month.
This is just like anybody getting on a bus and trying to go to their chosen destination. And the city of Chicago's ordinance is unlawfully interfering with that.
Wynn's attorney told NBC5 Investigates in January that the city's ordinance is unconstitutional, infringes on interstate commerce, and unfairly targets only buses carrying migrants.
And when we're talking about immigration, that's a federal issue. The city of Chicago is not allowed to legislate on immigration issues.
The city argues its new rule does not discriminate and applies equally to buses from Illinois or elsewhere. Attorneys for the city also wrote that Wynn, quote, wants to be able to drop off scores of migrants on the streets of Chicago without heed to the basic safety and traffic management concerns that underlie the city's regulations.
My own assessment is that the complaint is largely a political complaint and not a serious legal complaint.
NBC5 Investigates spoke to two law professors, both of whom agreed the city could potentially prevail in getting this lawsuit tossed out.
The only thing the city is doing here is basically regulating how people can arrive in the city. It is not stopping anyone from arriving in the city, and arguably it's not even deterring anyone from arriving in the city. And that's why, even without knowing anything about the law, it's easy to see why the city is correct in arguing that this lawsuit is somewhat silly.
Now, we reached out to Wynn's attorney to get his response on the city's latest filing. We have not heard back tonight. It's not immediately clear when another hearing date might be set. The federal lawsuit was filed by Wynn only after the city began filing lawsuits of its own against the bus companies accused of violating the city ordinance. So far, 30 bus companies have been cited with 95 violations. Stefan?
Bennett Haberly with us tonight. Bennett, thank you so much.
So there's that. Let me get another one up here for you where we're going to go out to Denver, where they're a little bit ahead of us on the curve. Let me get this one set up first. All right, let's see what we got here. So here's the people of Colorado Springs, which I guess is south of Denver. My geography's still any good. And they're worried about, they say they're not a sanctuary city, but they got Denver, which is getting rid of hundreds of people out of their system, that they have them in hotels in the downtown area of Denver, and their time is up for sanctuary or whatever, and they're going to be expelling them, and the cities around Denver are starting to, conceptualize what's going to happen. Are these people going to end up in our town? Are we going to get stuck with them? How can we make sure that doesn't happen? There we go. So that's what this whole segment is about. So let's listen to what's going on in Colorado Springs to make sure they don't become a sanctuary city.
Today declared it is not a sanctuary city.
But tonight, the city and Pueblo County are still working to figure out what to do if migrants would indeed show.
And let's face it, folks, people in Illinois are going to have the same issue, especially suburbs of Chicago, once Brandon starts letting people out.
KRDO 13's Barbara Fox is live outside City Hall in Pueblo, where city and county leaders held a private meeting about this issue just hours ago. Barbara.
Bart, Heather, it seems too early to tell what their official stance is on the migrant issue or exactly what they talked about in that closed-door meeting, but city leaders did confirm with us that they are not a sanctuary city.
Pueblo County Commissioner Effie Griego and a county deputy walked inside of Pueblo City Hall. KRDO 13 confirmed the Pueblo City and County met here to discuss the migrant crisis and its possible impact. This comes after hundreds of migrants were forced to leave Denver shelters this week. It's unclear what exactly happened in that meeting or what they talked about. But Mayor Heather Graham did tell us she understands Puebloans are concerned about the crisis. The new mayor is putting rumors to bed, confirming they have not seen an influx of people arriving in the Steel City. They also told us Denver has not reached out for relief. She says the decision surrounding the migrant crisis and their approach on how to handle it is not going to be made overnight. At this time, it's still unclear what their potential response will look like. We also reached out to Pueblo County several times today about their stance on the issue. They did not respond. We will continue to press them for answers and about their plans going forward. Reporting live in Pueblo, Barbara Fox, KRDO 13.
Okay, so now we have another one. You know, I've told you guys in the past, the purpose of my channel here is to raise awareness and to wake people up about this and many other things going on in the area here. So here's a gentleman in Denver, I think the Colorado Springs area, who's trying to do the same thing in just a different fashion, folks. He's more public. He's getting out there on the highways and the byways, and he's peacefully protesting. So let's listen to this.
Today, man protested the arrival of migrants in Colorado Springs. KRDO 13 investigator Quinn Ritzdorf actually saw him this morning on his way to the station at the North Academy Bridge over I-25, and that's where he is.
First Amendment's beautiful, folks.
Yeah, Bart and Heather, this morning, longtime Colorado Springs resident Brett Dayberry was at this bridge here behind me with a sign that said, quote, illegals not welcome. But he tells KRDO 13 Investigates he has been out protesting along I-25 all week after he learned about a dozen migrant families came from Denver to Colorado Springs just last week. The man on the bridge is Brett Dayberry. All week he has been posted up along I-25 protesting the arrival of migrants into Colorado Springs.
People that are coming from the north, so potentially Denver, coming into the Springs to let them know, you know, this is how the Springs feels.
Last week, KRDO 13 reported dozens of migrants arriving in Colorado Springs from Denver. Both El Paso County and the city responded by saying Colorado Springs will not offer sanctuary.
When they started sending them down here, affecting our community, that's when I said, hey, we gotta shed some light on this issue.
Gotta draw the line somewhere, folks.
Polarized, and it's made into, well, you know, racist or this or that. It's like, you know what, can we just have safety in our country?
And reaction to his protests have been positive. This truck even stopped on the bridge to thank him. Dayberry, though, says he isn't sure how much longer he will continue to protest along I-25.
When Denver and sanctuary cities like that chose to say, okay, we're going to be a sanctuary city, well, then you need to deal with the ramifications of that. Colorado Springs doesn't need to deal with the ramifications of your decision.
Common sense there, folks.
Salvation Army here in Colorado Springs says
Deadly Salvation Army again.
families have quickly moved on to another destination. The nonprofit says it will continue to address the needs of the community because that is what its mission has been for 150 years. Reporting live alongside I-25 here in Colorado Springs, Quinn Ritzdorf, KRDO 13 Investigates.
So what I mean by the Salvation Army is they are one of the major NGOs. I'm sure that they're at the border, and if not, they're helping get these people transported across the country and resettled in various areas. They were one of the first organizations that helped resettle people in Chicago, but have since gone underground after there was a huge backlash probably like a year and a half ago. So They are an evil organization, and I've even noticed that their kettle ringing is not as prominent as it once was, and it continues to diminish. And I used to give some money to the Red Cross, or Salvation Army. I had a Joe Bergen moment there. Yeah, Joe Bergen. Joe Bergen's got some bad memory, but anyway. Salvation Army, that's what we were talking about. I used to give generously to the Salvation Army, but no more, folks, no more. And they sent me it must have been a lot of money on mailings. I got 4 mailings during the holidays asking for money, and they just got pitched. They're in my burn pile. I just burned those notes, so... I enjoy. I like people that send me junk mail so I can create heat for my home out of it. I just burn it. All right, so that's my update for today. This is DJ Wonder Chrissy, Migrant Mayhem, Land Cruiser Midwest. Please like, share, and subscribe. It helps us with the algorithm. God bless United States of America. God bless Donald Trump. Yes, yes, yes. We must bless Donald Trump. Let's hope the AI doesn't kick this off. But anyway, thank you, thank you, thank you. And that's it. Over and out. DJ Wonder Chrissy, Migrant Mayhem.